8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and it is now March 3rd, 2018, which marks the one-year birthday from the release of the Nintendo Switch, codename NX, with its very bright, reflective freaking screen. Hey, look, you can see ourselves. It's almost like in video inception, all right? But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in this particular video, all right? Before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and get the introductions out of the way. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
I'm Grey Mouse One.
Okay, I remember when we first started this out. The funny thing is that when we start thinking about the last year and everything, we can kind of tie together the last year to talking about the Switch, and prior to that, the NX, before it even had an official name. Because when we started doing this, we've been doing this a little bit more than 2 years now, I think, according to like the number of videos, and we look back on the dates that we started doing this. Yeah, so we've been putting these out, just as on a whim, for a little bit more than 2 years and all of that. And, like I said in previous videos, one of our favorite hobby in all the world, if it's not obvious, is video games. Okay. And of the major game companies out there right now, myself personally, currently Nintendo is probably at the top of the heap as far as being my favorite first-party game publisher. All right. Every once in a while they'll slip from that particular from that particular slot or whatnot. But one thing that I've always contended, especially over the last few years, is that Nintendo, one of the reasons why we have to sit there and we have to keep them in mind all the time as gamers is the fact that, they're willing to do the things that are different than the hardware arms race that Microsoft and Sony is locked in, all right? Or as the theme would say on the regular basis, why should we keep Nintendo in mind, theme?
You owe your gaming life to Nintendo.
Okay, and if you consider their history all the way back, restarting the home entertainment industry or the video game industry for the home console market and everything all the way back in 1983 and all of that, 1983?
83. 80,
yeah,
83.
1983. When they went ahead, they restarted all of that off of the heels of the crash of '82, which Atari, God bless them for what they did as far as establishing the industry. They also came really, really close to completely wiping it from existence. Okay, and not just Atari, but also other things that happened industry wide. Okay, and it took about a full year, almost 2 years of the industry just not existing within the home space at all before Nintendo came around. They introduced us to the NES, the Famicom back in Japan and all of that, and they established that, yes, video games as an entertainment medium within people's homes was indeed viable. Give that a few years, then the 16-bit race starts. It encourages people like Sega to go ahead and jump into the race. Of course, Sega went ahead. They tried to compete in 8-bit. They decided, all right, well, that's not really where we're going to see success. Came out swinging 16-bit era, which prompted Nintendo. Of course, they had to go ahead and do their reiteration while other people were jumping in over and over and over and over again. Fast forward another 6 generations in time, and now you end up in the current state of video games as an industry, with the Nintendo Switch being Nintendo's, current effort right now. And the thing is that, a big point is that there's, ever since, even before this was the Switch, when this was the NX, all right, this was a very hot talking point for a lot of people out there. Even ourselves, you can look back on the videos that we put out, just to go ahead and recap a few things, all right? Initially, before the Switch was even known as a Switch, it was called the NX, all right? The whole thing where the only thing that really came out, according to the patent, that was concrete that people even knew about was the fact that it would be a tablet-type device with detachable controllers on the side, okay? And that was the only thing that was concrete. A lot of this, majority of the other stuff was fucking rumors and conjecture, all right? Yeah, it was going to have a cartridge. That was like the only other thing, all right? Okay, and then, come closer to, a little bit closer to the actual day, or around, what was it, 2000, around November or December 2016 was when they actually had the Switch reveal.
Yeah.
Okay, they went ahead and the Nintendo Switch was aptly named. And then people had a name to go ahead, and they had, titles to look at, look forward to, and all of that. And, okay, Nintendo was coming out, and they were like, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and we are planning to ship initially something like 8 million of these units within a year. And people were saying, that's pretty fucking ambitious, Nintendo. Especially since we know that you like creating artificial scarcity and you don't like selling big numbers because you want people to be excited about your shit all the time. That's worth more than the actual money you would get from selling fucking consoles. But I digress. But so they went ahead, $299, 720p screen, docked mode, 1080p. Cartridges, and the one title that was really at the forefront of a lot of that was this particular game right here, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. All right. Myself and Gray Mouse, we were able to go ahead and get a hold of one of these at launch. And I'd have to say, from my own experience, yeah, so far this has been like the little device that Nintendo could. I am very happy with my Switch, especially with the type of things that it's been able to offer me as a gamer. And Nintendo knows exactly what they're doing. Like I said all along, they know that by offering gaming experiences outside of the norm, where it's just, oh, hey, look at the graphics, look at the graphics, give me that 4K, give me all the buzzwords, slap me in the face with that long terafloppy dick of yours, all right, and other fanboy shit that people have been going on and on about. Nintendo, yeah, Nintendo went ahead and they found themselves something that ended up being a lot more successful than what even I think they initially expected. Like I said, their initial thoughts was 8 million shipped by the end, within 12 months. Okay. And then later on into 2017, they were like, we're going to hit that 8 million. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to increase our forecast to around 12 million sold for the first year. And people are like, no, Nintendo, I think you're still talking bullshit. That's just way too ambitious. Lo and behold, at the end of December 2017, they're verified that right now, I think as of the end of 2017, beginning of January 2018, the Switch has sold over 14 million units worldwide, which they've done in less than a year. All right. And they also, not only did they sell, outpace the sales numbers for the Wii, which is their best selling console before this. They are also outpacing the sales number for the PS4. And they've also completely eclipsed the total number of units sold in comparison to the Wii U, which was initially released back in 2012? So, yeah, in 1 year they sold more units than they've sold for the Wii U ever since it's been released. And right now, as it stands, their amount of momentum, there doesn't seem to be any sign of it stopping. Which also kind of sounds like me monopolizing time here. Guys, what are your thoughts on this first year?
Okay. Who predicted that this would fail? Who predicted that this wasn't going to be shit? who predicted, who were hoping that Nintendo was just going to fall to the wayside and not be a part of gaming anymore and just leave it to Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo to make fucking third-party fucking games. Put their first party on the Sony and the Microsoft and the new Atari box that's going to be delayed forever. No, fuck that. Nintendo, once again, has proven, without a shadow of a doubt, that they know gaming. All right, look. Besides the Color TV Game 6, if you count that as a console, Nintendo has been in every single fucking generation of gaming. Every generation of gaming. So how the fuck, regardless of what you thought about the Nintendo 64, regardless of what you thought about the debacle known as the motherfucking Virtual Boy, regardless of how you thought as the Wii U, how the fuck can you count Nintendo out at any point? Why would you even question the numbers for the Nintendo Switch? It has the right setup. It's a portable / console. It has a great lineup of games, and now third party is starting to come back with a vengeance. I mean, damn, some of their first party is coming back with a vengeance. Metroids, Kirby's, Zelda whooped that ass as far as taking Game of the Year. This belongs to us.
And if it wasn't coming to me, it was going to go to my Italian cousin Mario, down the road.
Right. A Mario's still innovating to this day. To this day, from Jumpman to Odyssey, still that motherfucking jumping over barrels, climbing ladders, mushroom eating, weed smoking, star fucking invincibility drug having motherfucking plumber has still, now he's Captain America in his hat, he's still innovating to this fucking day. So for all of you naysayers out there, hey, I don't have a Nintendo Switch yet, but damn it, I am bound to get one because of the fucking games. Again, we don't play video game systems, we play video games. And the games on this motherfucker are top notch. So congratulations to the Nintendo Switch on its 1-year anniversary of kicking ass. Gray Mouse, you have the floor.
Thank you. What's very interesting about this conversation is because I remember we watched the Nintendo Switch announcement, the video. And what's so interesting about that announcement video was there were no kids in that video at all. They were college-age students or college-age adults, pretty much, throughout the whole trailer. And the whole fact about the mobility, being able to take it from the dock mode, to take it on a plane, to take it to your friend's house, to take it, sit out in the middle of a court playing basketball or whatever. I've done that. I've taken my Switch over to the Reverend's house and the Theme's house, and we all sat there and played Mario Kart on it. I mean, yeah, this is very innovative. I think the Nintendo DS or 3DS was the prototype of this. If the 3DS would not have been as successful as it had, I don't think they would have gotten the idea like, I wonder if we could enlarge the screen a little bit, put removable controllers on it. Let's try and see if they like it. And it's a home console and a portable all wrapped into one. And if that's not innovation, I don't know what is. And the fact that I don't run out of batteries the moment I step out my front door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, Gray Mouse. Yeah, you allowed me to play Street Fighter on it. As a matter of fact, you had your Pro controller, and I had it on a kickstand, and I was playing. And I'm like, I'm impressed with that. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Yes. That.
And I mean, again, I have to echo with what Reverend was saying. This game was so popular that it sold more. This game sold more than this.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because this wasn't around. This could never be found on store shelves.
Yeah.
But people had copies of this game before they could even play it. That tells you something.
Yep.
The attachment rate was over 100% for Zelda.
Yep.
And if you were wondering what a console seller was,
yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. Like the fact that Legend of Zelda for the first two and a half months of the Switch coming out, there was over 100% attachment rate on it. So people were picking up, their copies of Zelda. They were like, hey, look, I'm going to get a hold of the Switch sooner or later. I know I want to go ahead and play this game. So what they did is that they went ahead and they picked it up. Yeah, for a while there it was really scarce and it was kind of hard to find, Switches out there on retail shelves. But Nintendo, they realigned they focused their processes for producing things and everything else, and they're like, yeah, no, we're gonna. Somebody really sat down with them and told them, hey, look, if we haven't thought about redoing the way that we've actually produced things in the past to make sure that we're not inadvertently pissing people off, we've got to. If we're not going to realign our efforts, now we've got to do it sometime soon because, people want this, okay? And the more that we have it on store shelves, the more people will buy these things, and the more they'll pick up stuff like this, and this, and this, So that was just one of the things, But it's really kind of funny when we think back on it, like. Past like all of the initial estimates that people were saying, oh, that's not going to be the case. I remember when they said that Zelda wasn't going to show up at launch because it was running into localization issues. All right.
Oh, boy.
Just like they said that, the Switch was going to be fucking delayed because they wanted to put VR capabilities on this bullshit. Right?
Oh boy!
Because of the heads-up display patent that they found on it.
God.
Which, guess what? The heads-up display patent is being used. You know what it's being used on? It's being used on the Nintendo Labo kits.
It is.
Yeah,
By the way, Gray Mouse, nice deck of cards you had sprouted out.
Look, I'm just saying. Oh, but there's a support. And the thing is, what's really sad about this, and it ticks me off.
Why would I get a Switch? There aren't any games that I want. There aren't any games on it.
What ticks me off the most is that there's third party here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay. Obviously we've had a lot of good things to say about the Switch and what it's done so far, but I will admit, if I'm looking back on it critically, the year hasn't been perfect for Nintendo. All right, no. There are still some things that they can go ahead and they can improve upon, and that I hope they fix within this next 12 months that's coming up. All right, when it comes to the game support for the Nintendo Switch, it looks like they've gotten it a real good handle on making sure that they're like, okay, we have a steady supply of games coming out every month. Okay. Here's a kicker. Yes, third party is coming back to it, but I will tell you from experience, and also because of my work and everything else, expect a lot more ports of other games coming to the Switch over this next year. All right.
From Nintendo themselves.
Can I add something to that?
Well,
not just from Nintendo, but also from previous
from other third party.
Yeah, from previous other third parties.
Wait a minute, who cares?
Well,
especially if those games didn't really sell on the Wii U. Why not?
You took the point that I was about to make. You want the Wii U.
Come on.
You want
What? Wait, why would you get Rocket League for the Switch? Because I can play it portable, you bitch.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that, but you know, we've seen ports of stuff like Skyrim, like Doom, you know, and other games that have come out. You know, we should be seeing a lot more ports of some really solid ones.
As long as they stay away from that Secret of Mana remake.
Well, we'll talk about that later. All right, but the thing with it is that it's just going to be a lot easier for a lot of third-party publishers to go ahead and port an existing title instead of building a brand new IP that's dedicated just for the Switch. All right, that stuff is going to start being developed now. Okay, that's just how that is, and you're not going to see that until like end of 2019, 2020. Just to be completely honest, okay?
Metroid Prime 4.
Well, Metroid Prime 4 and all that other stuff, no. Nintendo is already sticking with whatever schedule that they have, all right? That I'm not worried about, okay? But what Nintendo does have to worry about, and what I hope they will fix before the next 12 months is over, is that they've really got to figure out really how they're going to implement the online gaming for this, all right? It's a fully capable device, okay? You know, the eShop offers a lot of things, but there are problems with it. You know, the titles can get lost in it. Let's not even talk about fucking voice chat. People already know that the device itself can natively support voice over IP, all right? You could run
protocol.
Yeah, you could run voice over IP on certain smart toasters that are out on the market, and I'm not kidding either. It sounds like a meme, it sounds like a joke, but I'm not kidding. There are literally toasters out on the market that you can find on Amazon, all right, that will run voice over IP, okay? So when it comes to this, there's obviously some things that I want Nintendo to go ahead and fix and get a handle of before we come to, you know, March 3rd, 2019, the second anniversary. Was there anything in particular about what you've seen so far that you'd like Nintendo to change or have corrected by that time, guys?
They're breaking the barriers as far as, okay, they realized the mistakes that they made on the Wii U, but for the Switch, they're actually like, okay, they had a lot of games for the Wii U first party, but they're expanding that on the Switch. I mean, yes, there was a Yoshi on the Wii U, but the Yoshi on the Switch looked like it's gonna whoop a lot of ass.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there was Kirby on the Wii U, but Kirby on the Switch, once again, is gonna kick a lot of ass. Breath of the Wild, yeah, but people weren't buying Breath of the Wild for the fucking Wii U. They were buying it on the fucking Switch. I mean, I like the fact that their first party is revamped, so to speak. You know, I mean, Mario Odyssey. I mean, damn, they just need to cover a couple of bases, which they most likely will within the next year or 2 years. I mean, Pokemon is already being developed. Smash Brothers will murder the competition. As long as they fix that internet shit that the Reverend was talking about earlier. You have that online and you fix that voice trap shit, the voice chat shit. I don't know what else would be able to compete with that at this time. You know, E3's coming up. Maybe Sony and Microsoft can think of some shit of their own to counter this shit, but they'll be copying from Nintendo. They will be. Gray Mouse, what do you like about? I mean, you two are the ones that own this thing.
Well, the thing is very interesting is like it seems like every console that Nintendo puts out, they learn something from the previous console. With the NES, they learn.
I concur with that 100%.
You know, they take a lesson from each console that they made. And it's just, that's one thing, if we were to talk negative about the Switch, that is the only thing that I could come up with negatively is the voice chat. And what's so painful is that Xbox it's not bad, Nintendo. You can borrow something from Xbox. I mean, Sony did. What do you think that multiplayer and Xbox Live and PlayStation Network? How do you think they came into being? It's because they copied from Xbox. So it's okay, you know. You could steal an idea from Xbox or Sony and come up with a solution to your voice chat. That's got to happen in the next year, especially if you're putting in these games that will require it. And there's rumors that Diablo is going to be on the freaking Switch, and that's going to be the first Blizzard game that's been on the Switch for 15 years. Think of 15 years.
What, for a Nintendo console?
Yeah,
A Nintendo console, yeah.
for a Nintendo console, 15 years. So you're getting all this third-party support. You need to solve that issue with the voice chat. Steal it from Microsoft. Steal it from Sony. Steal it from somebody. Don't be, but Nintendo's Nintendo. I don't know why they decided to do what they did with. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I think Reggie Fils-Aimé will figure something out. And again, like what you mentioned earlier, that E3's coming up, so there's probably a good opportunity that Nintendo can take a step back and say, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We messed up the voice chat. Here you go. Here's what we meant to do in the first place. Ha ha ha! We were just kidding. That was just a bad joke. That was just a joke. Hint, hint. So hopefully that Nintendo can innovate enough. I mean, it's nothing wrong with innovation. There's nothing. Nintendo and innovation go hand in foot together. It just really is. But it's just the fact that they can't get their voice their voice chat down is really, really shameful, to be honest with you. Everything else is they're hitting it out of the park. I mean, literally hitting it out of the park. And like you said, you got these big guns that's coming out. There's a Kirby coming out. That there's a Smash. That there's a Pokemon. There's going to be a Mario Kart. That there's going to be a Metroid. That there's going to they get all these weapons of mass destruction. And you can't come up with a simple voice chat so that you could play online with your friends. But I kind of understand a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. I know that you want to protect the kids or whatever, but you need to step out of that shit and just fucking get with the times and realize that manly men and women, womanly women, play this shit. Adults play this shit. And that adults want to talk with other adults and talk shit over your network. Yeah, I beat your ass, motherfucker. What do you say? Yeah, I'm the best at Splatoon 2.
Well, let me just be honest about that, okay? The whole we're not doing this because we want to protect the kids. That's a cop out and a half, and that is complete bullshit. Okay, look, if and this is something that I'm just gonna say, straight out. It doesn't matter if it's Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or anybody else saying it. It's look. Here's the thing. This is what I want Nintendo to do. I want Nintendo to go ahead and take control of their online space, all right? Don't leave it up to third-party publishers to go ahead and determine how they're going to fucking use it and if anything goes bad, say, oh, it's all on them. No, the only way that you're going to sit there and then they're going to be able to sit there and better their chances that their online service, whatever form it may take, is going to get better, is going to take a form that is actually competitive and viable in comparison to Xbox Live or PSN. They have to go ahead and they have to set it up themselves for their infrastructure, for their system, all right?
Do you think that cost is the issue with Nintendo, why they handed it off to third party? That they can't. But it's expensive to have your own servers. It really is.
Yeah.
And where would they have it? In America or in Japan?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. Yeah. In order for them to go ahead and build that infrastructure, I understand it's not something that they can do overnight. All right. But guess what? Who out there in Japan or who out there in America or who out there in let's say South America or fucking or in Canada or any place else.
Yeah.
Who's going to sit there and say no to Nintendo as far as, you know, farming out like bandwidth and server time and server real estate? All right. Knowing that, potentially this is going to bring you billions of dollars in revenue on a regular fucking basis. All right. Oh no, but Nintendo, they're some sort of garage door company startup. No, that's not the case. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened over this last year, but like I said, it's not without flaws. If Nintendo, here's the thing, the way that Nintendo is envisioning that this is going to be is that unlike your PS4, unlike your Xbox One, you're going to have multiple of these in your house. All right. There are going to be multiple adults, multiple kids, you know, with these in their house. Okay. They're treating it as a portable device as far as an ownership and attachment goes. And guess what? Because of the versatility of the device, it's very realistic that, you know, you're going to have people with more than one Switch in each household. All right. And that's really kind of what they're looking at. Okay.
You know what's interesting too is like what you said is that Microsoft, we know, has bottomless pockets. I mean, it's Microsoft. Yeah. Sony's a little bit more on the conservative side. They have certain parts of their company that's actually it's in the black. PlayStation 4, for an example. So they have a little bit of expenditure. But the thing is with Nintendo, again, I think the thing said is Nintendo is, out of all the gaming companies, Nintendo is the only company that is only gaming. That's all that they're not. That's it. Just a gaming company.
Yep.
And so they have nothing to pull from to have funding in order to set up a infrastructure, an online infrastructure. And I think that's one thing that's causing Nintendo to try to pass it off to a third party. It's because of that very thing. I mean, that very well could be the case.
Well, while I do recognize that that's a cost-saving measure, it's also very constrictive as far as the type of where they could potentially put it and how they could potentially fix things for the Switch. All right, if they constantly want to go ahead and they want to pawn it off, if they as a first party are thinking that this is way too expensive, I want to go ahead and pawn it off to third party publishers to go ahead and handle it. The third party publishers are even worse when it comes to penny pinching, so they're going to do even less than that as far as the minimal of whatever they have to go ahead and set up to get it working for that one game. Okay,
third party publishers that shit in the first place with the fucking voice chat.
Yeah, you know, third party publishers don't even sit there and think about, you know, setting up infrastructure for multiple games across their fucking library. All right, at least the majority of them don't.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what do you think they're going to do they're not going to sit there setting that shit up for the Switch. You know, that's Nintendo's responsibility. And really that should be one of the things that they take care of. All right. But that all said, first year for Nintendo has been rather eventful, you know, a stellar year. And, you know, if there's any indication about the type of success that they can see both critically and financially, you know, they mopped up at the DICE Awards. All right. They had the Nintendo guy come out over like the 40 minutes that they had it aired and recorded and stuff like that. That guy was on stage for like almost 30 of those fucking minutes. So yeah, they really mopped up. So, you know, Nintendo, I don't want to say Nintendo's back. Guess what? They never left. Nintendo's just back to reminding everybody, yeah, this is what we do, and we do it really well. All right. With all of that said, happy birthday, Nintendo. Happy first anniversary. We raise you a glass. Yep. Nintendo Switch. Cheers.
Cheers.
New Pokemon. Rush that. New Smash Brothers. Come on. Damn. I mean, come on. Just.
Come on!
Can't wait for the new Yoshi.
Oh, that Yoshi looks great.
If you guys get that Kirby, I gotta see it. Please.
Yep.
Well, actually, you could probably, wow. You could see it more sooner than you think.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You know, that right there is pretty much our thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. Happy first birthday. What are your thoughts, folks? You can tell us by leaving us a comment below. While you're at it, mash on that like button. Or if you really didn't like it, go ahead and mash on like. I won't blame you. Whatever you do, leave a comment. And if you really like what we're doing here, hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and you'll know whenever we put out new videos. All right? With all of that, our bullshit regarding the first 12 months of the Nintendo Switch ends right here.